Well, hi, and welcome to my shop. Thanks so much for joining me here for another session with this radio. This radio has gotten the best of me the last two sessions I've had with it. It seems to have an intermittent problem, which may or may not be a problem, and it's left me a little bit unsure and confused about what exactly is going on with it. So I've decided I'm going to try to clear the air here by kind of going back to square one a little bit with it, and we're just going to kind of generally test it a little bit and just see where we're at with this thing. What's left to do in terms of alignment is adjusting the oscillator, which will control the dial a little bit, and adjusting the front end RF trimmer for the antenna, basically. In my shop I have a couple more meters operating, which I'll take a moment to talk about, since many of you watch many of my videos, and so you probably already have noticed that, hey, it's a little more over here in the panel of meters. So I got this guy and this guy. These are meters I've had for a long time, and I was using them in the past, and I just stopped for the last year or so. I couldn't really fit them in here, but I fit them in now. What are they showing? So this is a line meter here. The scale goes from 105 volts to 130 volts. It doesn't go to zero at all, not this scale. And what's it reading? It's reading the output of my isolation transformer. Now, some of you might recognize that this is not actually an isolation transformer. It's a power conditioner, but I have altered the wiring in it so that it is in fact a isolation transformer. So it has outlets with a third prong on it here, but the third prong doesn't go anywhere, and that's what supplies power to my outlet here. Now this meter reads what this guy's putting out, like that's the plug for the meter right there. So I know that the transformer is putting out, according to this meter, 126 or 7 volts. A little bit of a lift comes through on this transformer. This other meter will come to life when power is actually supplied to the outlet here. So if you look at this meter and it says 0, like it does now, it doesn't actually say 0. It's the same as this meter. It starts at, in this case, 100 and ends at 140. So you don't know for sure it's actually 0, but if the meter's laying like this, well, you'll see in a little bit. Since it's actually reading the voltage that's arriving here, this is the actual plug going back to the meter. So it's actually measuring right here. Tells you what the voltage is that's reaching the radio due to the drop that may be occurring in my dim bulb. Wow, this is a long explanation. I wasn't expecting this at all. So consequently, even though this may be laying here, looking like it says 0, the voltage is just below 100, could be 90. So you could be fooled by this meter, by the way. Now, you don't have to worry because you're sitting at home. You're not going to get a shock. I'm the guy who's got to think about all this stuff and make sure I'm not messing up. But fortunately, most of the time I know what I'm doing. So most of the time I'm okay. But I'd be crazy to suggest I don't occasionally get some kind of a shock or lift in here. Try as I may not to. Okay, that's enough of that talking about those meters. Now, let's fire up the radio. Okay, radio's switched on. Power, might as well, here's the power, main power switch, selector switch, selecting the light. So what do we see? We see voltage here. This one shouldn't change. And we see it here. 119 volts. There's that lovely hum. And this one reads 115. So, you know, calibration on these meters is very poor. Let's see, 114 here. Oh, it's right on, 114 here. I take it back. Calibration is good. Okay. So the radio right now is hooked up to nothing at all. So I'm going to connect it to an outdoor antenna. As soon as I find where it is, this is the outdoor antenna. I'm going to have to run and throw a switch, come to think of it, because I was using the antenna last night for other purposes. Let's just try this with nothing, just this bundle of wire. A little dirt in the volume control there. Could be. This radio is receiving this signal. You can barely hear it though, but just with this bundle of wire for an antenna. And the speaker is bad. Just rattling away. Okay. That's what we get from a bundle. We can hook it up to the outdoor antenna. Only I've got to run and throw a switch. Very interesting. What's interesting is the tone changes. I tune this right in on the money. As soon as I get it right on the money, tone becomes much deeper and the speaker starts rattling. I'm going to go throw a switch. This should get louder when I do it. It took me 11.29 seconds. Okay, turns out this antenna is actually switched on. So this lead goes to an outdoor antenna. It's a long lead, runs all over the place through my house, but eventually gets to an outdoor antenna. A little bit of trouble explaining that. Hooking up the antenna quiets it all down. That's full volume, but I don't think it's tuned dead in. There's lots of terrible interference sounds in my shop, and I think that rumble is just that. It's just go through it. I'll try to get 640 down here, which isn't so interfered with. Hello? Nobody there. Actually, this would be 590. This would be 640. $680. Are we right in here somewhere? You can see holes in the speaker still right through here. What exactly is rattling? Well, I think it's just the speaker cone itself. I obviously have some more holes to fill here. The voice coil's not rubbing. I'm looking for something else that's loose on the radio that's generating a rattly sound. Must be the speaker itself. Okay. So we're getting good reception here actually for a little radio like this. It's not so bad. So let's try first. So we're listening to a radio station. It's supposed to be, I think, 680. We're very close to being correct. So we're going to do the we'll do the oscillator first here. As soon as I can find the screwdriver. Okay. So I've been reorganizing my shop a little bit here and there, so consequently I can't find anything. Here we go. Oscillator. Oscillator here, I think. Checking the metal screwdriver effect. Maybe this isn't the oscillator. It's not likely you can turn the screw that far and have no noticeable effect. This has got to be the oscillator. Yeah. Didn't get it anywhere. How did that happen? I heard a crack as I pushed on this. So what I'm trying to figure out is what exactly is buzzing here and what exactly can I do about it. I really can't tell what is buzzing. I don't think it can just, the fault of a few holes here, it can't make this kind of sound. I mean, it does sound like a cone rub, a voice coil rub rather. Conservatives have made it So what I'm noticing is if I push on the lower part, the rattle goes away. If I push on the upper part, the rattle gets stronger. What I'm imagining is the voice coil is rubbing, and I'm insensitive to it when I'm doing this kind of stuff. Trying to feel the rub. I have no sense that there's any problem. So what could be rattling like that? The loose speaker frame, it's tight. The speaker parts are all tight. Speaker itself is tight on the chassis, isn't it? Yeah. Could it? I don't know. Fill the hole some more and see if that solves it. I can't imagine that's going to fix it. Can't fix the speaker. Can't call this very successful. It's just not listenable. So what's going through my head is trying something I've tried twice before, and it's worked both times, even though it seems to me to be utterly crazy, and that's to soak the cone with water. I tip the radio up so the cone is not tilted this way. And you just soak it and let it dry, and like a miracle, this kind of sound goes away. What else can I try? I mean, no one's going to want to listen to this. It's not really worth fixing the radio any further until this is dealt with. Well, let's try it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I've done it twice. Both times it seems to have worked. Surprising to me. And that's about all I can say about that. And there we are. It's nice and level. Well, I'm gonna do it. We'll see what happens. So this idea really, I mean, I understand the concept behind it. You weaken or soften up the cone, and somehow it settles back to where it wants to go, where it's supposed to go. But this just runs counter to everything in my head. Don't put water on a speaker. And you know, I bet you it is just more holes around the edge here. And this isn't going to help, but I'm going to try it. As you can see, I am trying it. Soaking wet. Of course, the water's not going to soak in where I've put fingernail polish. Yeah, that's going to make it even worse. Okay, there we are. We'll see what happens. I'll give that an hour or two. We'll see what happens. Okay, it's been long enough that it's dried up. Let me tip it up here. So I give this about a 0% chance of doing any beneficial thing for this radio. I really find this technique to be just absurd, but let's see what happened here. There we go. That's exactly the same. Worse, if anything. Okay, so that didn't work. But I'm going to try it again. So if I push here, the rattly goes away, and if I push here, the rattly gets stronger. So, in keeping with crazy ideas, I'm going to soak this again. I'm going to put some weight on the rattly side. This is like really long shot stuff here I'm doing. But it's a shot. Oh, I need the water and a brush. There we go again. I wonder if I should just wet one side. So the idea here is the cardboard kind of gives up its memory a little bit, and then kind of sinks into a new proper position, and then as it dries out, it adopts that position as its new memory. Oh my gosh, now what am I going to put on here? I want this just to go down a little bit. Oh, it's so, oh my gosh. Is it weak? Wow. So after this dries and this next attempt fails miserably, I think the next thing I'll do is I'll try to coat the entire speaker cone with something. I don't know what, but something. I need just a little bit of weight. And a little bit heavier weight, smaller and heavier, like a nut. Like a nut. Oh, look at that. This is went right through. That's how weak this is. The weight of this pushed it. Oh, now I stuck my finger through it. Yeah. This paper thing, this water thing, I think it's not going to help. Oh, what can you do about that now? Push it back up. Oh, it's just tearing away. You know, I think it's really what it is this thing is much worse than I even realize yet. The speaker, in terms of areas where part of the, instead of the cone, you know, doing this, part of it is moving more than the other part, and maybe there's almost an invisible tear in there, giving that whole sound that I can't imitate. Okay, well I have to let this dry in any case. I might as well put this here. I mean, really. This is a sad situation. It's going downhill rapidly here. Oh my gosh, it's just incredibly weak through there. Why would the paper get so weak? Use, just, enough of this. The outside edge of the speaker cone doesn't move. It's fixed in place. So somewhere there's a strain in here. There has to be a strain. It's supposed to occur right in this outside ring here, which has been designed to allow some flexibility. But that constant movement must eventually wear the speaker out here. Okay. Yeah, worn out speaker. We'll let it dry and then experiment some more. Okay, so I've taken some, just a coffee filter here. Cut this out of it. And I'm going to try to glue this down on the speaker and cover all the leaks at once. That's my plan anyway. How well this is going to work, I don't know. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is make a mixture here of about 50% glue, 50% water, something like that. And I'm going to soak this in it, stick it on there, work it in. Goodness knows, this speaker is not long for the world. That's what I think. Yep. Well, try what I can anyway. Okay, so I'm recording this because I figure you want to see me completely destroy the speaker, which I think is what I'm about to do. Well, let's see. It's pretty much destroyed as it stands, isn't it? So we just need to soak this in. Oh my gosh, this cone has been soaked so many times. And then what I'm going to do, oh, I can just hear it. Look at that. It's all broken in there. My repair here hasn't extended far enough, so I'm going to have to patch the patch. Let's get it all in here. So, I'm using glue. This is going to stiffen the speaker. Stiffening this part of the cone doesn't matter. It's this part out here which is designed to flex, which is going to get stiffened also. But that's what's going to happen. Okay, so I'm going to work away on this for quite a while here. And there you have it. This is just a horrifying looking thing to me. How can this possibly work out? So I'm going to let that dry and we'll see what it sounds like. Because basically with the speaker shot, the whole radio is shot. That's really how this works out. I'm just making sure the speaker is really, really shot. Okay, let's check out this burgeoning disaster here. This downhill slide. Have we reached the bottom of the hill yet? Well, I don't know. Just feeling if it's dry. Dry enough. Let's give it a try. Now, really, am I putting money down on this? No. No, I wouldn't gamble on this one. This is off. I'll turn it on here. Put a little power to it. I can't imagine I've improved the speaker's response, but let's see what happens here. It's making some sound. Okay, first little sample didn't go so well. Let's try a little slower here. Yeah, it's just worse. That's horrible. Oh my gosh.
free delivery. Order online or on the Pizza Pizza app or use the promo code delivery. Minimum $25 order, safe, reliable delivery. That's Pizza Pizza. I'm Larry, your benefit. This Rebel News Radio 642 Untitled Chapter traffic. You lose weight with the help and support you need right at home. The two names the guys that help people for weight loss or men. Call 416 222 9887. If you never know, you would have done it already. Join the conversation by calling 416.
You know, it's a strange thing. I can feel the air coming up out of that speaker. I've never done that before. Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, I don't have magic hands here. It's it's not helping. Or is there something else vibrating here and I'm just missing the point entirely? So I'm pushing on the spider. Spider is another flexible structure that holds this part of the speaker. Well, so far, not really very good. In fact, that's really has been. I am at the bottom of the hill. There's no doubt about it here. Okay, gotta ponder what to do about this radio. Gotta ponder about that. If only I had another speaker that wasn't also all wrecked up. This one, though, this is a problem for this radio. Actually, this is a very serious problem because it's got a field coil, and that's bad news here. Okay, as far as we're going to get here. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to kind of abandon this project, at least for now. Not an easy deal to get around this speaker problem. And I have another radio I want to finish up. And so this one will be around. And if some good idea comes up or something like that, I can get back to it. But for now, there's just no reason to go any further with it, unfortunately. So, as you know, when I make my videos, I really don't know what the outcome's going to be. Most of the time, the vast majority of the time, the outcome's pretty good. Not this time. Okay, how about one last look at it, and now I realize the foolish thing I did. Now that I put this back in the cabinet here, which look at how it cleaned up. This was a filthy, filthy mess, and with a fair bit of time with a microfiber cloth and just water, nothing else, no soap, no nothing, just water and a microfiber cloth, just polishing on this, and it ended up coming out really quite good. Except look, you can see the speaker. Okay, so I was bound to find that out at some point. That was going to be a disappointment. So anyway, that's too bad for this radio, but nice look around the shelf. Just don't try playing it. Thanks a lot for watching.